So what do you think that, what do you think we need to do as teachers? What do you think teachers need to know about a lesson from a Métis elder to teachers? What is the lesson that you would like them to know about the land and the connection to the Métis people and you know, of that kind of part?
For me, I feel that we need to have our stories heard. I feel to make sure that when you're talking with elders, that you know that those elders are going to be telling you what they know and how they lived in the land and how they treated that land. And the reason we are doing this now, which you would probably never years back would have that opportunity, because our elders were not able, would not go out and speak. And for one thing, they were very protective of our land. So if you would ask them what you're asking me, they would shrug their shoulders and say, well, we can't help you right now, because that was their fear that if they start talking to you and something happened, maybe it wouldn't affect you, and then they would get charged and go to jail. So they were very cautious on how they did things.
So what do you think has changed then? What brings you and I together to have a conversation in my living room?
Because of our teachings we had with the old people, and times are changing. Our children have gone to school. We want to share our knowledge that we were brought up with, and because it's important, because our children are attending these schools as well, we want to also communicate with non-Aboriginal people so they'll understand us, understand the way we had to live and the life we lived. And I think if we don't start educating one another, we will never build that relationship. We have to build a relationship with all races of people. For me, that's important. I'm very important about. I work with all races of people. I work with the newcomers. I work with, because they too have stories, and I'll tell you why. We have a mixed elders group, and we talk about these things, and it's amazing. When you sit down and you listen to these people, there's similar stories to what we have. They talk about and how they also use their medicines, which is different. For instance, I was at the bank one day, my bank, and I think it was East Indian or what, and I forget what it was, and I said, oh, I really don't feel that great today, because I always know them when I go in there. And he says to me, I can give you some medicine that can help you. Our traditional medicine. Yeah. He offered, you know, and I said, yeah. And I said to him, oh, you have, he said, oh yes, we have our traditional medicine. Yeah. So, you know, it's just not us now that have this tradition. We're not here in our country as an Indigenous people all by ourselves. We have other people that come in, and they have to have that knowledge within their cultures. So it's important for us to talk about it, and it's important for us to educate what we can. And another thing is, our teachers have to learn to understand what we went through, and for I don't know if maybe I remember one time was at the school, and I was talking about some of the stuff we did and what we were eating, and this little boy says to me, Elder, my kokum and I do that. So they have that knowledge at home. And once I think you can talk to these little kids can be your teachers as well, because they go through that. And people don't realize, but they won't come out with it unless you're talking with them, and then they'll get excited, and all of a sudden, you know, like there was this little boy and all his classmates was there, and he was just proud about it. And it's a good feeling to us, and we feel it's important that we have to educate the people we know about us. We're not saying that you should follow our traditions. I'm not telling you it's just because I'm talking about it that I expect that. I expect the fact that I'm telling you because I feel it's important that people know the Métis tradition and also how we do things. And that's a teaching we can have to the scientists. I always say, We have scientists, we have doctors, we have professors, and I firmly believe that, but people don't understand. But maybe they don't have the same kind of education and degrees as these people have, but they have life degrees that people cannot ever. They didn't look in a book for this. That's the difference I'm trying to